So, group photography, it's a great way to practice your skills for portrait photography, because not only you have to nail the technical aspects, but you also need to guide everybody and nail the facial expression at the very moment you want to communicate something, because you have to tell a story. And posing 10 people, like in this case, I had 10 young women from France. They had to celebrate an enterrement de vie des jeunes filles, as they call it, which is burial of your life as a single girl. We call it bachelorette. Anyway, we had to shoot this bachelorette party on Lake Como during daytime, so no alcohol was included. But we had so much fun shooting at the park. Let's see together the best practice for some group portrait photography. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from One Lens Only, and today in this episode we are considering several aspects when you're shooting a group portrait. In this case I had 10 ladies shooting with me, and the location was the usual Villa Olmo public park here on Lake Como, which gives us plenty because it's both on the lakeside and then there's a nice garden behind the villa. So we had different settings, colors, the green from the trees and from the grass, the blues from the skies and from the lake, and a lot of colors all around. And now when you want to have a group session, you need, of course, to close down for a larger depth of field, because if you have 10 people, you cannot only nail focus on the first 2 or 3. All of them want to see themselves in the photo, so you have to close down, and this means that you have a larger depth of field, so there's not much separation from your subjects to the background. And this is where you are learning how to frame for the best, because you want to avoid overlaps, you want to avoid having people in front of other people, so all of them need to be visible in your framing, and no one of them needs to overlap with light poles, with trees, with weird parts of villas, columns or whatever, because you want to have a shot which is as clean as possible, let's say. And so when you're closing down but you are keeping your shutter speed fast enough, because otherwise you have weird facial expression if they're turning, if they're talking to one another, you need to pump up the ISO. So this is why I am not using any ND filter, because ND filter you normally use it for videos, and so to avoid pumping too much the ISO, I was helping myself with a second angle, and this is why I mounted my Insta360 X5 on the cage of my Sony to have a second angle and the video to shoot redundance, because maybe some framing, some aspects were missed because I'm not shooting a series of photos. I don't want to fill up my card, because otherwise then you will have to compare 20 different shots from the same pose. I wanted to give the best and double check every one of the subjects to shoot the right moment, not to shoot and pray, because when you're shooting a series of photos like 30 frames per second with some outdoor cameras, then you have to spend a lot of time in post going and checking, and maybe you didn't even nail it. So I wanted to give clear guidance, and I was using the video to help myself having redundance and the framing. And then you need to avoid having errors when you are shooting with that many people. You maybe are resonating more with a few of them, you are talking and you're having fun, and so it's always the same 3 or 4 out of 10 you're talking to. You need to be even, you need to interact with everybody, you need to engage and motivate everybody, because when people are having fun, also they are more beautiful, and if they are more beautiful, this translates into your photos being more beautiful. And so you have, it's time consuming, I have to say, it's time consuming. You have to talk and to engage with everybody. And then what about posing 10 people? Well, you need also to see how they interact to one another, because when you're posing singles or couple, it's just some stylish cliche that maybe you can double check on fashion magazines or on some YouTube behind the scenes shoot, but posing some people, I can tell you, it's challenging. And so you need to play with each and every one of them. You need to invent jokes, that's what I did, or even to have natural expressions. I used to say, look at the tip of your feet, and then 1, 2, 3 when you come up. Those very few seconds after you raise your head, these are so natural because the expression, you cannot control it. Otherwise, if I'm asking 10 people to smile, each one of them would pose the way they are used to smile. But we don't want to have the smile that you're wearing when you're shooting your selfies in all the photos, because otherwise all the photos look the same. So you want to have the girls, the friends, interact to one another, not all of them looking at the camera, maybe some of them playing to one another, and you play with the remaining ones to have some action ongoing. Action is the key. It's not just a static way of shooting when you are managing and you're dealing with 10 people, but action, because action tells a story. So every time that you change location, you can either pose them for a static still, they will wear the normal smile that they wear when they're taking a selfie, and that's it. And you have a collection of selfie smiles from 10 people placed in the same frame, or you can tell a story. To tell your story with that many people in your shot, well, first you need the wide lens. Now I have to say 24 was wide enough for certain shots. It was a bit limiting because I had to walk back a couple times. I didn't have enough space to walk back to include all of them in the wide framing, especially because if you consider that you have a full frame to fill, but the corners, the side, it is exactly where you are losing resolution. So you don't want to place anybody in the very side. So you need to have a flow, a composition, use leading lines, create leading lines with people to tell stories, to have some movement inside your framing, and to avoid having people placed in the corners or in the borders of your framing, because it's where the resolution drops down, and then it's not fair having a wide glass, but only the central 3 or 4 in focus in the middle and the other ones with the fall off. That would not be fair. So practice and study how to position people in order to avoid the fall off towards the corners or the sides of your framing. And then maybe you are willing to consider underexposing a bit. I have to say, I'm shooting open air most of the times, and then also the clouds are beautiful because a plain blue sky is not helping. A plain blue sky, it's a bit obvious, and so if you have puffy white clouds like we have here on Lake Como from time to time, be sure to include them. And so you want to underexpose and eventually use, if you're using an OM system, a graduated ND filter, or help yourself in any way. But I'm sure you would prefer underexposing than overexposing, because then otherwise in post that's a miss shot. And then guys, for better composition, tell stories, tell stories, tell stories. Talk to your subjects. You are a professional, you are shooting people for ages right now, or if you're starting right now, it's even better because you are less shy. Maybe try to come out from this being shy, because as they say in the song, you manifest the ceiling when you shy away. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow! I mean, wow.